We're going to do a quick demo here on logging into a web page with PowerShell, and we're going to be using the Invoke-WebRequest commandlet. This commandlet's new as of version PowerShell v3. To get some information on it, you can run the help commandlet on it. Alright, all the help you need, tons of information. I basically already opened it up in the online mode, so here's the MSDN page with all the information on it. It has some pretty handy examples, and basically that's where I got on the information I needed to do this demo. So I created a .NET MVC web page, basically took the default app out of Visual Studio. This is using local authentication, so we're not using OAuth or a authentication provider like Facebook or Twitter, although we will do a demo using OAuth later down the road, as well as doing a demo on invoke REST method and hitting the web API. We'll set up a quick web API through ASP.NET. Give a little background on scripting out web pages. In the past, I've used curl to great success, and I would say curl is 100 times more mature than PowerShell at fetching and dealing with web pages and web requests. This is great for FTP, many different things. Actually, they give you all the details there. That's mature in its own right, but we're just concerned about PowerShell here, so we're just going to look at that. Another thing I'd have to say is, Python has many years of head start, and it is, a #1 scripting language, scripting HTTP requests and scripting the web. Of course, that would be Python. I'm not even going to try to compare that. But in this case, we're going to just stick with .NET and PowerShell here. So basically what I want to do, first and foremost, I want to get an idea of the web page I'm connecting to. So here's the home page, right? There's a login form on there. So, I can just go here. I could have done this with Invoke-WebRequest, but we can just go and view the source here. And let's look for our login page. Okay, so here's the URL. Okay, so this is a post request to this page, and that's actually going to do the login. Actually, I'm sorry, that's a link to the page. So our login form isn't residing on this page, so we're going to have to navigate over to the login page. Right. So the login page has the form we're concerned about, and that's actually what we want to script against. So you look here in my pre-baked demo, I've got the first line here. I'll just go through it real quick. We're going to run Invoke-WebRequest. For the URI parameter, we're going to pass it that login page that we're looking at right here. Okay. And we're going to pass another parameter here called session variable. So we're going to define a variable that it's going to store and maintain its session information into for the life of our transaction here. So from the time we log in to the time we log out, every week request we send, it's going to use that variable. So as you see down here, I have that in the web session, and I'll explain that here in a moment. So if I go ahead and run this, then type out our variable. Now you see it actually went out and we got a 200 OK, and we've actually fetched the login page. Okay. So we have the login page, and we can actually type our variable here for our session. And we'll see that it actually has the session stored here in the system.net.cookie container. So that's ready to go for us. So every request we send will always be able to use this, provided we pass it into the web session parameter. So that's pretty much what that's used for. So along with the $AZR variable, we have some attributes and properties and methods with that. So if I run get member against that, okay, I'll see all this information in here. What we're concerned about here is the form, because we're going to be logging into this page. So what we want to see is the form information on that. So if I just do a dot notation off that variable, okay, I'm going to see the form. Now this only has one form on this web page, so we're going to be able to use, just use a zero-based array here, and we're going to reference that and set that to a variable here that we can use later. So now if I just do db form, okay, pretty much the same information. So what I'll do now is we'll see the fields here, fields of the form, and as you see here, we can actually see it here as well. So if I view the source on this page, I should, okay, I've got a request verification token, and we see that in there too, and it's hidden, right? So it's a hidden attribute or a hidden form field. Now we have a different value, of course, because this is from the web page and this is from our Invoke-WebRequest method or request. And I'm expecting remember me. Where would remember me be? Okay, so here's remember me. All right, so we can close this. So here's that remember me attribute there. We can leave that to true. I mean, we could make that false. Doesn't matter for what we're doing. It's not going to remember you once you close this session, so it doesn't really matter for our example here. So one thing we have to do now is, so of these 4 keys, our username and password are empty. So what we need to do is update this key value hash table or dictionary table, or yeah, whatever it is, this key value pair, and we're going to update that with our username and password. So now if I show those fields again, now it's got our username and password in there. So with that db form fields array populated, we can now perform the action. So if we look here, our db form's got an action and it's that login. So what we're going to do here is we're going to run Invoke-WebRequest, pass it the URI of the base as well as the db form action. I mean, you could hard code this to this URL as well. And then we're going to use the web session parameter and pass it our session variable that we captured. Now this is a post method here, so we want to make sure we define that in the method parameter. And then in the body we're going to send that array of form fields. So If I run this, I should actually log in. So if I just do R, okay, it actually gave me a 200, right? I didn't get an unauthorized. And let's see here, if I do get the raw content of that, I should see that I am actually logged in. There we go. So if you look here in this list item, I see hello user. Now, just to verify that, let's go ahead and log in on the web page. And I see hello user. There you go. So I could continue to script this out. You know, let's see here. I can go to let's just go to a different page just to make sure we're still logged in. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, we can just do that. So let's just go to the About page. All right, and then we need to pass it the web session. And I think we could just leave it blank, but let's just tell it we want to get that. Okay. And I get a 404. I'm guessing I misspelled something here. Oh, okay. Sorry. MVCs. Okay. So, yeah, I basically forgot the home controller and the About view. So, let's go ahead and do that again. Set that to a variable. And then check the raw content on that again, and we should still see that we're logged in.